Hello internet, hello and welcome to this video. If you go on the internet right now, you will be able to find a guide for everything you could ever want if it comes down to Dota. No matter which topic, no matter which hero, no matter which strategy, you will be able to find a guide on that topic. It doesn't matter. However, I've come to the realization that indeed we are still missing one guide. Ladies and gentlemen, today I bring you a guide to teach you how to play Dota 2 like a man. You have to keep in mind that being a true man is nothing that can be explained to you. I can only give you guidelines. I can teach you the basics. However, if you want to be a true man, you have to accept these basics, you have to embrace the basics, you have to live according to the basics, and eventually you will be able to move past the basics. But before you are able to do so, you need to master the basics. You need to become part of the basics, and you have to realize that they are not rules, they are no restrictions, no, in fact, they are a lifestyle, a blessing. I'm gonna give you 5 rules. If you follow these 5 rules, you're on your best way to become a true man. However, you're not quite there yet, as these are just the basics. Rule number 1. Respect the tier list. The School of Dota Manliness has created a full tier list including every hero in the game, ranking them from the least manliest to the most manly heroes. However, I cannot give you that full tier list as of now, as it is confidential and can only be handed on towards people you truly believe to be true men. I am allowed to give you the 5 least and the 5 most manly heroes. The 5 least manly heroes are Klinks, Nyx, Furion, Lone Druid and Outward Devourer. Picking any of these will instantly kick you out of the School of Manliness. You will not be part of it anymore. We will condemn you, we will hate you, we will probably find out where you live and burn you alive. Don't pick these heroes. However, the 5 most manly heroes in the game are the Bear with no name, Tusk, Huskar, Axe and Juggernaut. Picking any of these heroes will drastically increase your chances of playing like a true man, as they are manliness themselves. This, however, does not mean that you will instantly become a true man. If you do not play like a man, these heroes will do nothing for you, and yet again we will figure out where you live and murder you in your sleep. Rule number 2. Respect the item tier list. If heroes got a tier list, so do items. But yet again, this list is confidential, and it is even more confidential than the first one. I'm only allowed to give you the least manly item and the most manly item. The least manly item being the Shadow Blade. If you buy a Shadow Blade, you will embarrass yourself, your family, your friends, your dog, your cat, your teammates, and that one girl you once talked to during a party and instantly fell in love with, but you forgot to ask her for her number and only realized it the next day at home, and none of your efforts to figure out who she is and where she is now ran vain, and only resulted in you falling into an even deeper depression. The manliest item, however, is the Armlet, an item that allows for one thing and one thing only: glorious combat. Rule number 3. Glorious combat. Glorious combat is your playstyle. Glorious combat is the way you fight your enemies. There are a few rules you have to consider if you want to execute proper glorious combat. First of all, no retreat. You don't fall back, you win or you die. Secondly, honorable fight one-on-one is to be respected. You do not disturb an honorable fight. Honorable fight, however, is not restricted to only one-on-one. If somebody chooses to engage in an honorable fight 1-on-3, you respect his decision and you do not disturb that fight. If he dies, he died like a man. The last rule of glorious combat: You shall give the victor of an honorable fight the opportunity to retreat. It is not allowed to retreat during an honorable fight, but if he won that fight, if he is the victor, if he won a glorious combat, you shall be a gentleman, respect his victory, and not take that away from him. You shall give him the opportunity to retreat. Talking about gentlemen, rule number 4. Be a gentleman. If somebody disconnects, pause. Wait. Give them the opportunity to come back into the game and fight like a true man. Most of the time it is not the fault of the player that he got disconnected, and they usually try their best to come back into the game. You shall respect that, you shall help them out, and you shall give them the opportunity to play. If somebody on your team is not playing the best he could, be calm, be collected, and help them. Don't rage at them. You will not benefit from that. Instead, you will make yourself look like a fool. And what man is a fool? If you see somebody stacking the ancients with one of their dominated creeps, those ancients are theirs to take, unless they give them to you. I could give you tons and tons of examples of what it means to be a gentleman, but I won't do that. That would take too long. I just want you to keep in mind, not all gentlemen are men, but all men are gentlemen. Rule number 5. Finish with a bang. If you're going for a kill, give your opponent the courtesy, give your opponent the honor, and use your most powerful ability last. And just ask yourself the question, if you are going to die, which would you prefer? Getting blasted by a giant laser, or getting hit in the face by a snowball thrown by a crystal maiden? I think the answer is pretty obvious.